At this point, we transition to our featured speaker and program. To introduce our speaker in a moment, I'll invite our Business Mentors Committee co-chairs to the podium. Bill Marshall and Terry VanNostrand are the co-chairs. They both help fill the classification of banking, and they're champions for our club partnership with the UW Foster Business School and providing service to small business owners in our community. And during this part of the program, we ask our Zoom participants to enter your questions for our speakers using the Zoom's chat feature. Our Club Sergeant at Arms, Ken Grant, will moderate the Q&A portion of the program. Before I return to the podium, we'll also have an upcoming meeting announcement from Ashley Berman, a new member with classification of legal services. Now to introduce our panel are Bill Marshall and Terry VanNostrand.
Thank you, President Jimmy. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It's an honor for Terry and I to serve as your Business Mentors Committee co-chairs this year. And we're really excited to present our annual committee program today. Our committee provides Seattle 4 members with an opportunity to coach UW Foster School of Business students as they help businesses in underserved communities to plan for and execute growth strategies, increase sales, and create jobs. We're incredibly grateful for what the Seattle Rotarians have done to guide students and coach small business owners. And we'd really like to thank all current and past committee members for all of your hard work. We'd also like to welcome all of the UW students joining us today. And now here's Terry to introduce our program.
Thank you, Bill. Today we will show the impact this program has on students learning new skills and career advancement. Our program will include a panel discussion with a student, a small business owner, and a Rotary Business Mentor. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce Will Tutal, who will moderate the panel. Will is the Director of Washington State Programs at UW Consulting and Business Development Center. Please join me in welcoming Will.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate the kind words. Actually, I want to start by saying that today's a bit of a bittersweet day for us. You know, on the one hand, we're very excited to share with you all the great work that our Rotary Business Mentors Committee is doing. But on the other hand, this is actually the last year that Bill and Terry is going to be serving as co-chairs for our committee. And I want to thank you both for the service and leadership that you've given us, you know, in this role for, oh my goodness, almost a decade or right around there. You've really helped us propel this program to, you know, one of the most valuable and impactful programs of its kind. It has garnered national and global interest from universities around the world. So whoever we have coming in to fill your shoes will have some big shoes to fill. So thank you again for your service, your leadership, and everything that you've done for us. Appreciate it. Let's see. I have some slides here that I'd like to share for 1 second. If you could give me a moment. Trying to find my cursor. There we go. Sorry about this. Let me just get everything straight here. Hopefully you can see my screen. Okay, so with that, I want to say that we have another exciting year here with our Rotary Business Mentors Committee. As Bill and Terry mentioned, I'm Will Tutal. I am the Director of Washington State Programs here for the Consulting and Business Development Center. And essentially our center has, our mission is twofold, right? So on the one hand, we want to enhance student education and advance student careers. While on the other hand, we want to sort of grow jobs where they're needed the most, with a focus on working with minority-owned, women-owned, and veteran-owned businesses, as well as others in underserved communities. One of the ways that we do that is through this program, where, as Bill mentioned, teams of students are paired with business professionals, and together they consult small businesses to help them grow, create jobs, and strengthen the regional economy. This year, we have 70 students working with 59 business mentors, many of which are Rotary 4 members, and they are assisting 17 firms across the greater Seattle area. We've been doing this program in partnership with the Rotary Club of Seattle for more than 2 decades. And in that time, this program has helped more than 2,500 local small businesses generate $250 million in new revenues and create 150,000 jobs across Washington. So Thank you, Rotary, for the wonderful partnership in this. I also want to thank all of the Rotarians that have served as mentors for us over the years. You've been a huge resource for us, but not just in terms of mentoring our students, but also, for our business owners as well. The time that you give us is invaluable. I hope that you're enjoying this experience. And here's just a short list of the folks that are participating this year. But again, in the 2 decades that we've been doing this, more than 300 Rotarians have served as business mentors for our companies. And again, we want to thank you for your service. Okay, so with that, today we're going to highlight our program by hearing from some of our participants. We're going to hear about their experiences in the program and how it's making an impact. And first we have Mari Borrero. Mari is the president and CEO of American Abatement and Demo. She is an award-winning educator, an author, and an entrepreneur. She attributes her self-motivation to her mother's hard work and dedication as she overcame barriers in the healthcare industry. Mari has followed her mother's legacy and added honor and courage and commitment as a U.S. Marine. Mari enjoys learning. She has combined her background in education and service to endeavor in starting up American Abatement and Demo. She has the heart to give and thrives on the challenges for each new project that is presented. And we can't wait to hear your story, Mari. Thank you for being here. Next, we have Nicole Bryant. Nicole is an alum of our program, and she earned her degree in finance with a minor in diversity here at the University of Washington. She's currently working as a tax consultant at Moss Adams in Southern California. And during her time at the University of Washington, she was thoroughly involved with our center and has held positions as the first VP of diversity for the Undergraduate Business Council. While participating in this program, she and her team work with the W Marketplace, a women-owned e-commerce company, and she also received one of the Rotary Student Scholarships that year. So Nicole, we're very proud of you, and we're very glad that you're with us today. And then finally, we have Doug Seto. Doug is the director of Night Hot Sweepers and a business mentor from Rotary, as you all know. Doug has extensive senior executive experience with operational leadership, business transformation, change management, strategic planning, marketing, sales, and business development. His experience crosses the high technology, software, digital marketing, and manufacturing industries. This has included everything from Fortune 500 companies, mid-sized companies, small businesses, and startups. Doug has served as a business mentor for our students and clients for a number of years, and students have really benefited from his vast experience. So thank you, Doug, for serving as a mentor. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to have my first question be directed at Nicole. So Nicole, could you, well, first I want to say that, again, it's really excited to have you here on this panel because of your experience as a student and as well as your involvement with our center. Can you reflect back on your student experience and tell us about the project that you worked on? Give us maybe a description, what were some of the challenges and solutions that you came up with?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, everyone, for having me, and especially thank you to the Seattle Rotary for being honored as one of the scholarship recipients last year. And as Will mentioned, I worked on the W Marketplace, excuse me, with my team. Please excuse me. I worked on the W Marketplace with my team, and they're an e-commerce business. It was all women owned, and uniquely they were launched in May of 2020, so right after the pandemic. And that gave our team a lot of room to be creative with our recommendations. It also did, present itself with challenges as a new company with a lower budget and a lack of capital. But ultimately, we had a really driven team, and we had really great mentors and business owners to work with that made the process very seamless. So we kind of attacked their concerns from a perspective of honoring their values as wanting to create community amongst women business owners, and also just within their seller community. And then also, of course, address the consumer target audience and how they could really make a long-term impact there.
Great. How were the business mentors valuable to you in this process?
That was incredibly valuable to have those outside perspectives, not only with the provided experience that they bring to the table, but also just being able to sit back and look at your recommendations with a new lens and a new perspective. It can definitely be easy to put those blinders on when you're deep in research in these projects. And so it's great to have that outside perspective with a combination of just their own business experience, but also with their knowledge of the client as well. So that paired together was incredibly valuable to coming up with successful recommendations for the client.
Oh, that's great, Nicole. It's a great point you brought up too, because I've been with the center for a number of years as well. And one of the things that are pretty common with our student teams is you know, sometimes they focus too much on the details, right? They can't see the forest for the trees. And I agree with you that these business mentors really provide a nice overall overarching, you know, sort of viewpoint or strategy that really helps our students really fine tune their projects. So excellent point on that. Mari, thank you again for being here. You are obviously a successful business owner with a very inspiring story, and your passion shows throughout your business. You and your company, you've actually worked with our center for quite some time, participating in, you know, practically every program that we offer. Can you share your company's journey and how you used our programs to strengthen your growth strategy?
Yeah, sure. So a little bit about my company. We are a hazardous material removal and demolition company here in Auburn. Prior to this, I was an elementary school teacher who saw children who had a parent previously incarcerated not be able to find employment, although they were seeking that, right? And so in order to help them kind of transition, seeing that need, I was like, okay, so how can I help my community in this other format? So to be an employer. And so we endeavored in construction, my husband and I, and we initially had started out of our garage and in our personal home and trying to navigate this business world, not having the complete education or background on that. We were sponsored through Hensel Phelps to the Ascend program. And then that's where, you know, you see a little bit of success in your business, but you don't really know it's success. But at the end of the year, you're not red, so you consider that success. But you didn't know how can you do this to help more people? And so the Ascend program helped us kind of take a step back and look at how can we expand this? How can we make this sustainable and build our capacity? And then from there, it went to the minority executive program. How can I educate myself and put myself around people who could mentor me in all these things that I don't know about? And so then from there, it became, how do I give back and how do I still continue to build my business? So we went from the residential market then to the commercial market. Then now we just obtained our 8A certification, which would allow us to go after federal projects and set aside. So how do I build the infrastructure to continue to sustain that? And the UW consulting program with the students, we were paired up with one particular student who helped us build out that network. What is the infrastructure that I need to have in place? And we did that prior to receiving the 8A certification, which was phenomenal because now when we got the 8A, now we can hit the ground running. They provided things like financial scope that I would have to look at, things that, you know, from this range to this range is what's going to cost for you to build this infrastructure. These are some cybersecurity things, or CMCC 2.0 or 2.0, whatever just came out on cybersecurity. You've got to have these things in place. And so if I want to play in this arena, which is the government market, I need to have these things. And through the UW consulting students and their program, they were able to help me kind of filter that out with their mentors and put it into place. So now we have the opportunity this time around with the consulting students to talk about building, and what we're doing now is our organization. How do we expand this organization wise? So now we have a new group of students that are part of our building this journey that American Abatement and Demo is on.
That's great, Mari. You know, just for added context, the Send Seattle program that Mari mentioned, we have a series of executive education classes that we offer to our business owners in addition to the student consulting projects. And companies that have utilized this well use these education programs to come up with ideas on how do they want to change their firms, how do they want to change strategic thinking, leadership abilities, and just general directions of their companies. And then couple that with a student group like what we're doing here to like put these thoughts and these ideas into action. And so it's a great description on the typical journey of a business owner, Mari. So thank you for sharing that. Doug, you've been a Rotary mentor for our students for 3 years now. Can you share with us how it's been for you mentoring students and advising local small businesses?
Yes, thank you, Will. And by the way, thank you, Bill and Terry and Gabriella. I'm honored to be part of this panel today. So it has been an exciting and rewarding experience to be a mentor to the students and an advisor to the business owners. The thing that I find most inspiring is the students. They come from the Foster Business School, well-trained with expertise and skills. And it's fun working with them because you can give them just a tidbit of an idea and set a direction, and they take it and run with it. And it has been fun. I've done 3 different businesses now. It's kind of interesting. Their current business, Industry Graphics, happens to be one of our vendors. So I actually know them from being a customer of theirs. But I think the key thing is that the students are really motivated and passionate about what they're doing, and they ask a lot of good questions, and it challenges me to be smarter and better as well. So it's been a two-way street with the mentors or with the students. And mentoring business owners, the thing that is so inspiring about the owners is, you know, they get an idea that they had, or they have a dream that they want to accomplish, and they bring it here. And every one of the businesses that I've worked with are there to grow, to expand, open a new location, start a new line of business, or expand what they already have. And they're looking for, whether it's marketing expertise, accounting expertise, overall strategic planning expertise. They ask those questions. And luckily, in the 2 businesses that I've done, one of them opened a second location successfully and are doing extremely well. The second one is also expanding into a new marketplace successfully. So the expertise that the students and the mentors brought to them bring real business value.
Oh, that's great. That's great, Doug. I have a follow-up question for you. I mean, obviously the benefits to our students and our businesses are huge. And again, I can't thank you for your time. But personally, what are you getting out of this experience? Why do you keep coming back every year?
That's a good question. You know, it's interesting. The students inspire me, and it's very interesting. Some of them I still get together with for dinner and lunch, and they're still asking questions today. And many of them have gone on to have careers at Amazon, Microsoft, and ICOS is another one. And so I benefited from personally that way. Second thing is also just in this mentoring process, I actually learn from the students, and I've actually taken some of the techniques back to my own business to help improve it. You know, maybe I've got a little rusty over the years, so they kind of bring that forward to me. So.
Oh, that's great, Doug. It's never too late to learn something new. So you're getting something out of this as well. Nicole, congratulations again on your new position with Moss Adams. Can you reflect on your journey from a student to a working professional, and how has this particular experience helped you with that transition?
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, this course in this program is entirely unique, and I had not taken a class anywhere near the scope of this. So this was a great experience for me to finally apply all of those classes that I had been taking across different subjects, finance, accounting, marketing, and really build all those skills into creating this project, not only for the client, but with the support of the mentors, but also just for my own professional development. And I think the key takeaway that I gained from this experience was learning how to have the confidence in the work that I put into research and analysis, and again, using those skills that I had learned in previous classes and having the confidence to not only present a recommendation based on that work, but also to defend your stance and to be collaborative with students and be able to balance different ideas, while also, of course, delivering the key items to the client. So I think that's been huge for me, especially in a new consulting role within the tax world, is being able to, think on your feet analytically and critically, but also kind of be able to step back and adjust your approach based on new information that's presented to you.
Great, thanks, Nicole. We expect great things from you. I know you're going to go far, so appreciate again you being here. We're almost out of time. I've got one more question for Mari before we open it up to the audience. Mari, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is making our programs more than just an academic exercise, making tangible results within a firm. Can you talk about some of the critical moments of building a business and aha moments that you've sort of had along the way, and how this program has helped you through that?
Yes. So obviously one of the biggest barriers into business is access to capital and financing as you grow your business. For us, it was a little bit difficult to obtain that. We tried to, anything we made, we kind of put it right back into the business. We've had different situations that had came up, but just to give you to give you kind of a snapshot of the importance of the work that's being done at the UW in regards to small businesses. In 2017, we started in my single car garage with a gross revenue of about $500,000. Okay. We finished last year, 2021, with a $2.7 million company. Now, most Hispanic businesses don't, we start the most businesses, according to Stanford research, we start the most businesses every year, but our businesses never make it over $1 million. Only 3% of the businesses make it over that. So yay, I'm in the 3%. Thank you, UW, for the continued growth, helping me continue to grow this. But aside from the dollar value to this, I do want to just say one thing, is that it's not about the money that we're making. It's really about the people we're impacting. And so for me personally, as we grow our business, we are directly impacting our community, right? Because we are helping people who've been previously incarcerated obtain employment, who then in turn can provide for their families. That is a huge win, not just the financial part. But I will say that our business, a couple of good things that have happened that I want to share with everybody here is that we have also won the homeless encampment cleanup, one of the contracts for Washington State. Well, that's a 5-year contract. That is going to be phenomenal for our growth, which we would still need additional supports from the UW as we strategize in that area. And also build relationship with Microsoft now. So all these exciting things are happening, and the importance of mentorship to anybody out there who would like to reach out as well. Mentorship is so important, and we wouldn't be here today in this position if it weren't for those awesome mentors who dedicate their time, who prod, who push, who question, hey, what's the motive behind this, or challenge you, or challenge me in that sense. So if you're thinking about mentorship, it is so vital, and the impact you have, you think you're impacting one person, but this is a trickle down effect. I then in turn have now from 3 employees, we're at 14. So when you plant seeds, you're planting seeds, and I'm just thankful for the UW and everybody here, and thank you for allowing me to share our story and our journey. Our journey is not over, but hopefully we'll have another opportunity to share.
Oh, that's great, Mari. I can't believe we're at time already. I wish we had more time with you all to hear some of your thoughts, but I want to thank you all again for being here and sharing your stories. Congratulations on all of your successes. It's really, really great to hear. And with that, let me pass this over to Ken Grant to take some questions from the audience. Ken?
All right, well, thank you. Thank you, group, committee, friends of Rotary. We really appreciate it. And thanks for bringing your stories today. It's always very inspirational. I love it. I've got a couple of questions, and there's a question right off the bat from one of our audience. Mari, turnover is often a problem for businesses. Does your strategy of hiring formerly incarcerated individuals work well as it respects to retention?
So typically no, but in the hazardous material component side, it's hard work. So typically there's turnover. It's not until you start to invest in the leadership component and building positions in that sector that people stay longer. So I've had employees who have been with me for 2 years and then kind of go on to their next level. And that's what I want as a business owner. I want them to continue to learn and grow, if that's what's for them. And then we've got some that have been with me the whole time. So it just depends.
Yeah, okay, I get that. All right, Mari and Nicole, who was one of your mentors and how did they help you at a critical time? Maybe we'll start with Nicole. No pressure.
No pressure. I actually had my Rotary mentor actually was reassigned to a different group just because of a capacity issue. But the mentors that I did have were incredible. But I think Mari could probably answer this question a little bit better than I.
No pressure, Mari, go.
Okay, I had so Shannon Goosting, she was the director of operations for Hensel Phelps, who kind of took me under her wing after we did one project for them. And the relationship has been so dynamic. It has been phenomenal. And the growth that has come from that, obviously, is the end result today. I mean, we went from, like I said, the even building our bonding capacity, just different things that I needed to know that I didn't know. I didn't know that I needed that. And she stepped up right when I needed it.
Yeah. This is a question maybe for all of you, but I'm going to start with Will. How do you teach your students to be, I guess it's a two-part question. Do you teach your students that it's okay to make errors? And if so, how do they self-correct? Or is that not part of what you teach people?
No, it absolutely is. And to be perfectly honest, this is a great way that these mentors really provide the, sort of enhanced education to our students. Formally, we have a class that's designed to teach students how to do this work. And so sort of behind the scenes, we've been fortunate to have a couple of instructors, both of which worked with Accenture for a number of years, and in fact, very senior in terms of the positions within the firm. So lots of experience in consulting and frankly, how to teach other consultants how to do this work. And so they've been teaching the course for a couple of years now and providing them the skills that they need to do this. But at the same time, we know that students need to learn some of the soft skills that's needed in order to build rapport with a client, give hard information, get hard information, that sort of thing. And although we do, sort of address this in the course, we also rely on our mentors who have that experience to sort of coach our students along when they're going through this process. And so we have sort of built-in supplemental, sort of resources as part of this. And that's how we sort of address those issues.
Ever get a partnership? I'm going to go to mentoring now. Ever get a partnership that doesn't work and you have to sort of readjust?
Yeah. Doug, do you want to take that on as a mentor?
Oh, good. Again, no pressure, Doug, go.
No, the three I've worked with, or the two I've finished, we've had good relationships, and luckily the chemistry and everything has been real good. A couple of things, in this mentoring process, yes, they have great professors at the University of Washington, but they often do ask more kind of functional kinds of things of how to plan out what they're going to do to get to the end point and everything. Then that's where we've been real helpful in advising students in the right direction. So you meet with them on a weekly basis, and then if they're not quite going in the right direction, we help them steer it in the right direction. So
yeah. Okay, so it sounds like this There's safety barriers in place that no one can just fall out of the system. No one can get so frustrated. Like you're always watching and helping each other. That's the feeling I get. Here's a question for you, Mari. To other business owners that might be worried about doing this, what would you say to them?
So like for me, I was personally impacted with incarceration, and I just don't hire previously incarcerated. I also hire veterans as well, because I'm also a veteran. So I would just say give one person the opportunity, right? I go above and beyond. Like I work with their community corrections officers. Hey, let's not get them off the project. Come visit them at this job site. You know, like I try to help coordinate and all that. I'm not asking for everyone to try that or have this business plan, because, you know, that may not fit their business, but just start with one, giving the opportunity to one person, and you may be surprised. You may be surprised of what comes from that, you know, just providing an opportunity.
Yeah. Nicole, do you want to touch on that?
I'm sorry, could you restate the question?
Do you want to touch on that too? Is there something that you would share with people, like this is the coolest thing you could ever imagine doing?
Oh, I actually would say it's the coolest thing I did in college. And I actually want to touch back on what Will mentioned about gaining those soft skills as well, especially being a business student at UW, at Foster. You know, great professors, very difficult course loads. And so it's great to apply that analytical knowledge to a real project and work with not only the mentors, but the business owners, and be able to create those relationships and really address the importance of relationship building within the business world.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to do a round robin really fast. This includes Terry and Bill. Be ready. Ready? The best word to describe this program will go. One word.
Well, I'll use two: tangible results. Hopefully that's good enough.
Is that hyphenated? Tangible
Yes,
results.
hyphenated.
I'm going to make that hyphenated. Mari.
Fabulous.
Oh, I like that word. Tangible results. Bill.
Exceptional teamwork.
What? Is that hyphenated too? Nicole. 3 words just to really throw me off. What is it?
Impactful.
Impactful. See, some people listen to the rules. Doug.
Awesome. Nicole
Terry.
took my word.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Terry.
Team.
What is it?
Team.
Team. Yes. Team in
I can do
action.
it, team. Yeah.
Yes. I got it. Yeah. No hyphen.
It's the epitome of team.
Yeah, I get that. I think we're all sort of hearing that, right? It is this network and team, and you cannot, I was trying to figure out how many wins. It's a win, 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 and a win, right? No matter where you are on that system, everybody seems to be winning, and I really appreciate that. This is awesome. Will, thank you. Nicole, Mari, Terry, Bill, Doug, thank you all for bringing this conversation to us today. We really appreciate it.